This episode contains spoilers for Survivor Co-Wrong, Game Changers, Heroes vs Healers vs Hustlers, David vs Goliath, and Edge of Extinction, with wider reference to the past 49 seasons. You have been warned. On today's merger, we are talking about the 30s of Survivor. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Claude.
Welcome to Drop Your Kiwis.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. 32 is the first 30 season that we get, Co-Wrong, and the returning player is Aubrey. What do we know about Aubrey coming into this?
Well, I think from a viewer perspective, she was very well liked. I think a lot of people just related to her, which I think why she's, I guess, so well liked and also so controversial in terms of the ending of this season.
Definitely.
But yeah, she played a pretty good game this time around. This is definitely her best of her 3 times she's played.
100%. She was strategic in like where she placed herself in the tribe. She wasn't always on top, especially in the early part of the game.
Yeah.
And then she won challenges when she needed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to the end and obviously outshined by Michelle, who was just seen as a better social player.
Yep.
Which, you know, we could talk about asterisks and all that and stuff, but the winner wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Aubrey, even in that final 4, Aubrey recognized that Michelle was probably going to win and she was the main target and would have gone home if she hadn't won that final 4 challenge.
100%.
So Aubrey's still pretty onto it in the fact that she recognized Michelle's game earlier.
Yeah. But then can't be like surprised that she lost it.
Exactly,
He brought it to the end. But yeah. But yeah, cool. Aubrey was a great like conversationalist. She kind of spoke to the narrative of the season.
Yep. Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Is there anyone else that any omissions from this cast that you'd like to see back in the future? Obviously, we see Ty again.
Yeah, we see Ty again.
We see Michelle again. We see Debbie.
Yes. Honestly, we see Caleb as well.
Oh, we
briefly.
do. Yeah. Sydney hasn't come back. Sydney would have been good.
Sydney has not come back.
No.
No, I don't think we see anybody else.
No.
But from those few. Honestly, there's not really anyone I'd be particularly keen to see back from this season.
No,
I mean, especially when you compare it to other seasons around that same period.
Well, especially because it was doing the same brain, beauty, and brawn, and like trying to recreate Cagayan without Tony. Is like that's just a feat you're just never going to do. But
I know. I mean, the Cagayan casting was something else. I think there's been very few times they've had that many great players in one season.
Yeah, I mean, and then that season had like Jatia losing her staff, and like there's so many storylines that early merge. With this one, it's not really anything apart from like Jason and Scott being mean guys and
Ty
losers.
Ty getting the best of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a great addition to the season that we kind of haven't seen too much of, like the half idols, and you got to put it together to make a super idol.
Yeah, I mean, we do see a bit more of it on 38, which we will talk about when we get into Aubrey's third game. But yeah, that's something that they never really utilized too much of, I don't think. Was there anything else regarding Aubrey's game this time round? I mean, there's stuff in future seasons, but
there is
in terms of season 32.
Not this first time round, no.
Yeah.
Obviously enough to make an impression and enough to come back and enough to define herself as a game changer, which we'll get into. But no, a good showing. Hopefully she can stay sort of under the radar too.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah, well, maybe not
Yeah.
with Q on a tribe, but should we move on to game
I
changers?
think so. Yeah, I think this is a good time to
So
do that.
Aubrey comes back on season 34 with
Yes.
Sari and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Sari and Ozzy playing together for the third time? No,
Second,
the
because
second
Ozzy
time.
wasn't on
The second
Heroes
time.
Villains. So yeah,
That's
second
right.
time.
Season 50 will be the third time that they play together.
Yes, that's right.
So game changers. So yeah, these three returning players, along with a lot of others from the late 20s.
Yeah,
It's kind of an amalgamation of a lot of people because Sandra's on
it
there.
is. I think this season has been was kind of the most diverse in terms of eras of
Yeah.
casting.
JT
Um,
comes back.
yeah,
Jafana comes back.
yep.
But then you've got, yeah, Haley from the late 20s, Zeke from
I
early
think all the
30s.
returning seasons is always going to have mostly people from the more recent seasons. Like
I
we've
know, and then
always seen that.
sprinkles. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and we see that especially on 50. But I mean, let's talk about this season. So we could talk about the players individually. I think we should start with Aubrey since we've just been talking
Yeah,
about her. I feel like she was kind of always on the bottom this season. She
and
never
kind of just
really got a
escaped it.
footing.
She
Yeah.
escaped it mostly with luck.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely did a good job playing from the bottom, but I mean, she just could never really get a foothold until I guess
Nah.
merge or the I guess tribe spot. She kind of got more
Well, as soon
footing
as
than
it
she had
goes,
before, but yeah,
yeah. Well, as soon as it goes into the merge, it kind of flips to like, let's get out the strong players now. We don't need them anymore, which is, you know, why
yeah,
you see Aussie leave and
yeah,
why Sierra is targeted and stuff like that, and Michaela.
yeah,
And the kind of like brainy people can kind of fly a little bit under the radar. I mean, that's not to say she didn't play on the bottom for the entirety of her game, really.
yeah,
And but yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a much weaker performance than the first time we saw her. But
yeah.
yeah,
Well, she didn't really change too much since the first time.
no,
I mean,
she
you could
didn't.
see from the winner of this season, Sarah, who played like an opposite game. That's how you had to change, you know.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, should we get into?
Yeah, let's talk about Aussie.
Well, Aussie was just kind of more of the same this time round.
He was
Big
so much more
target.
of the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very big target. Um, People kind of just targeted him as soon as they could once the merge hit.
pretty much.
Uh,
Like his game was yeah, just be a challenge beast, be a provider for the tribe, and when you don't need it anymore, we'll get you out.
I
It was
think he
kind of not
was,
really a showing, to be honest, especially
yeah, and
coming
he was
off
a
South
second merge
Pacific.
boot. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because in
yeah.
South Pacific, I mean, the game was designed for him to stick around.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
And in
Redemption Island
Micronesia,
was made for him.
exactly. And in
Yeah,
Micronesia, he was in like an alliance that carried him far until it burned him. And this time, yeah, he just didn't really use too much strategy. His
yeah,
strategy is just, I'm Aussie.
exactly. Yeah. I'm Aussie, I'm valuable, keep me
I'm
around. And it
valuable.
works for the
Keep
most
me.
part. But I
He
think
made the
the older he
merge, but
gets, the more likely that's going to work for him, which could work out in his favor.
yeah,
He's going to be seen as less of a threat, but I mean, we'll see. We will see.
we'll see. We'll see if he uses some of that. Well, he just needs to pivot a bit more and be a bit more strategic in it
Yeah,
rather than just being or relying on the fact that he's a physical beast.
exactly. Yeah,
Because you're like, yeah, Father Time is going to catch up to you on that one and you're not going to be able
yeah,
to hold on to it.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah,
we saw that with Colby on Heroes vs Villains,
yeah,
and I'm
exactly.
hoping Aussie doesn't have that same kind of fall from
Give up
grace that Colby had.
yeah,
Yeah,
the give up mentality. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure he won't, but we'll see.
I'm sure he won't. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's be pretty stoked to be back. But yeah, and then finally Sari
Sari.
is
Oh
here.
man, absolute train wreck of a season in terms of Sari's boot.
I
I think
know.
this one boot in Surrey is, I think, a reason that this season will never be seen as one of the great seasons, because this could have been such a great season if it hadn't been so controversial, you know?
Well, there just were so many challenges. I mean, and so many like
Too many
trinkets,
advantages.
so many
Exactly, yeah.
advantages.
Just
And
too many at once. There should never be that many going at once, I think.
there should never be a situation where five people can save themselves.
Exactly, yeah. I'm still under the, I guess, the viewpoint of there should never be more advantages out there than there are tribes. I
Yeah,
think once merge hits, there should be an idol and that's it. Maybe something smaller as well, but I mean, an
yeah,
idol's always enough. As long as there's something out there that can change up the game, and an idol is more than enough to change up the game,
I know.
then yeah, you're never going to have a situation like that where someone just gets serried. And I really hope we don't see that in 50.
I don't think this has happened before. I don't think it's happened since that a person's gone home
No,
because there hasn't been another option,
exactly.
which makes Siri, in a world of her own in that fact, but
Yep,
continues the unlucky streak of idle plays and stuff that has burnt Siri in the
exactly. Yeah.
past, or,
And it makes
you
it,
know,
yeah, it makes it so much worse as well that she was playing such a great game before that happened. She never received a single vote against her that whole season, including
yeah,
her vote out. She still never got a vote against her. She was the only
exactly.
person that season who was never voted for, I believe, which is crazy. Yeah,
That's like,
all the finalists got votes against them. Suri was the only one who never got a single vote against her.
which kind of speaks to her character and how she plays. She plays such a low
Exactly.
key gangster game
Yep.
that she's like,
Yeah, I mean, to be
oh,
fair, she
should
also
we do that?
never went to tribal until the merge. So
True.
yeah, but yeah, is there anything else you want to say about this season before we head to the next one?
Not really. Just that it was a cool returning season. I mean, I just don't see the need to bring back so many winners, but
Yeah,
that's all right.
I mean, and I do quite like bringing winners back because it adds another element to the game, you know,
Yeah, right.
because people are gonna view the winners differently to other people, and we see that in All Stars with Jenna targeting winners. We see that in Game Changers too, not as much, but it's still there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I'm sure we'll see it on 50.
Yeah. I think I'm just so hurt from JT giving his idol to Russell in Heroes vs. Villains that I'm
Yeah.
just like, get JT off my screen.
Actually,
But
that's something we can talk a bit about for Game Changers. JT's mistakes. I mean, first there was him basically sending Malcolm home, his number one ally,
yeah.
accidentally, and then him going home with an idol in his pocket straight after that. It's just
Yeah.
absolute
The,
poor gameplay by JT.
and then Sandra
Such a fall
goes,
from grace.
tell him
But
you sent him home.
yeah. Yeah.
I will.
Oh man. Oh,
That
should we
was funny.
head into Heroes, Healers, Hustlers? Talk about
Let's do
Chrissy.
it. Let's talk about Chrissy. Yeah. Season 35. And now Chrissy is one of the three players and one of the first of the three players we're going to talk about who is here completely alone. The other two are
Yes.
Jonathan and Genevieve, but Chrissy hasn't played with any other player that has returned.
Yep,
But
that's right.
on her season, she played with some pretty, well, controversial winner.
Very controversial and a very controversial ending to a season.
Very controversial new challenge that hasn't stopped, but also in our
Yep.
rewatch of like the early seasons has been there pretty early on as like the final four fire making challenge. Sometimes it was just because people voted 2-2 and forced that,
Yep.
but that staple has been in the game for longer than I expected that it was. So
Yeah. I mean, even when we had final two finishes, it was still a thing in that final four vote. It just wasn't at the final elimination
wasn't
tribal council.
yeah, it wasn't
So
pushed on the players that this is
exactly, yeah.
exactly what's going to happen.
And I think
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy that we don't get that for 50. Very happy.
Oh, has it come out that
I
we
mean, it
voted
hasn't
in?
come out, but I'm pretty sure they had a vote for it, and I mean, I'm pretty
Everyone
sure
was
the
like, no.
fans are not liking Final Four fire making. So
It's probably because of this season and the outcome of the season. Like Ben had such a
yeah,
strong game. Ben obviously wins at the end, but he only really wins because he gets an out.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah,
obviously, I
otherwise it
mean,
would have been Chrissy's game.
exactly. Yeah, and we say he has a strong game, which he did obviously in most aspects. But I mean,
He
if
rubbed a
he's
lot
the
of people the wrong
target for
way.
so much of the game, then he's obviously doing something wrong, you know,
Yeah.
and that's playing too hard too early in his case, and not having good enough social game that people want to keep him around, which is such an
Like
important part of Survivor.
a really bad social game, really, which is
Yep,
crazy that Chrissy just loses to him here. But
I know.
what Chrissy
Yeah,
does do well is she goes on an immunity winning streak.
yep,
What did she win? Like
that's
four or
definitely.
five,
Yeah, something like that. I
something
don't
like that.
remember
Tied
exactly how
the
many, but tied the women's
Paul
record. Yeah, still has that tied record with a few
still
others.
has it with a few
Um,
others. Yeah,
with what Kim, Rachel, Savannah,
yeah.
and then I think there's
Savannah
someone
going to the
else.
list. Yeah,
But yeah, she didn't really have that strong of a social game, which I think contributed to her not getting many votes at the end.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Kelly Wentworth,
very good physical game. Yeah.
very good physical game. Yeah. Sorry, I just blurted out Kelly Wentworth. I think Kelly Wentworth was also in the five times immunity
Ah,
challenge.
yes, yes, you're right.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of her game. I mean, she was on the bottom at the start and was able to kind of like get her way through the early portions of the game.
Yeah,
And then when it got into this their post merge game, she just won things at the right time. Obviously, aligned herself with Ryan, who kind of gave her that advantage at the start of the game,
yes, yep,
which that's the luck of Survivor. You, you're not going to be able to control everything, and sometimes you're just
exactly.
going to
Yeah.
be given something. I mean, we see it in the season that Rachel wins. Uh, she was going to get voted off
Oh, yeah,
and gets handed a thing from Sol, who
exactly.
she ends
Yeah,
up birding in the past. But there's so many times of luck in the game, and
exactly. Yeah,
um, she used her luck and she used her skill and kind of dominated expectations because she's like a 46-year-old
exactly. Yeah, she
mother.
was. I think she was the oldest on this season, and she just dominated, which is pretty uncommon
Yeah,
in Survivor
super
seasons,
uncommon.
which is great to see. But I mean, didn't win, so
Didn't
yeah,
win. So she's back.
she is back. I
Yeah,
want to
I
give a
wonder.
shout out to her as well and some of her pre-game. You see some of like social media posts where she was saying who
Yeah,
else should come back, and she said Devon from the season, who was also robbed, which is
yeah,
quite cool to see.
he
Because
was robbed. Yeah,
he's actually the one who probably would have won, right? If they didn't have Final Four fire making, because he
yeah,
was the one who lost to Ben in the fire making itself. I
that's
think
right.
he was the front runner out of the three that would have gone to the end.
Him,
Him,
Ryan, and Chrissy.
Ryan, Chrissy. Yep, those are the three.
Yeah,
Yes. But yeah.
yeah. Hopefully he
Um,
comes back in some following season. If the
yeah, I hope so.
fifties are just going to be, hopefully the fifties are all returning seasons.
I think if there's another second chance season, he will be. I'm sure he'll be a shoe in if he wants to come back.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's a good sequel that needs to happen. Is there
yeah.
anything else you need to say about Chrissy?
Um, I don't think so. I think that's everything
No,
from that
yeah,
season. We can head on to the next one if you're ready.
yeah. Go
David
Chrissy.
versus Goliath. Yeah, go Chrissy.
David David versus Goliath. This is another one of our. This is season 37, and another one of our seasons with three people coming back. We've got
Yep.
Mike, we've got Angelina, and we've got Christian all
Yes.
returning.
Yeah. Who should we talk about first?
Let's talk about Christian because he starts the game off explaining how good of a player he is in front of everyone. And that kind of sets
Yeah.
up the kind of character he is. He's a nerd. He kind of opens up his mouth a little bit too much, but he can back it up, and he's funny. He's like a better Cochrane, I think. He's like a less egotistical Cochrane.
Yeah, I think that's something. Yeah, he's very well liked, very, very well liked. Like there was no one there that didn't like Christian, and that's kind of what came to be his downfall at the end was the fact that everyone saw him as such a big jury threat because if he would have won if he got to the end.
He was so well liked that Gabby cried about it, that she was like, "People don't like me like they like you," and they
Yeah,
were like number one and two. Christian
exactly.
also
Yeah.
aligned himself with Nick Wilson, the winner,
Yes.
the Mason Dixon alliance,
Yep.
which definitely brought him a lot further, or helped him in that early game to kind of whatever you can find to have some kind of connection to another player is you should do it.
Yeah, especially if that player ends up in the jury.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What else is there to say about Christian? He did really well. He had idols played for him. He had a great
had a
social
cool
game,
T-shirt.
very strategic, cool t-shirt, great TV.
Great TV.
He's one
Glad to
of
see him
the,
back.
yeah, I think he's one of the more favorites in terms of viewership for 50.
I think so. I
Um,
think of anyone that's coming back from these 30s, Christian's probably the person I'm most excited for.
yeah, I
And he's
think
got
so
a great
too.
last name, Hubicki.
Christian Kubicki, great
Hubicki.
Survivor player. Um, who
Should
else
we
should
talk
we talk
about third
about?
place?
Talk about third place, Angelina. Angelina,
Angelina.
zero vote finalist. She kind of had a few moments this season where she made some big social blunders. I think she had
Yeah.
moments where, well, first there's the iconic Natalie, can I have your jacket?
Yeah.
Hilarious TV, terrible move for her, especially considering she didn't even get the jacket.
So
And
funny.
then she had moments she had, where she knew who was going home, but played up to them so that she could get their jury vote, and everyone saw through that and just made it
Yeah.
so she was even more desirable to win at the end. Which
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, which is I guess probably one of the biggest reasons she got no votes at the end.
It's kind of akin to that coach standing up in South Pacific and
Yep,
like hugging
exactly.
people on the way out. And you're just like, read the room.
I
Read
know.
the room. People don't want to be told this. And
Yep.
people don't want to be like lied to to their face and then voted out. It's going to leave a sour taste in their mouth, especially if you knew about it and you
Yeah.
did nothing.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Excited to see her on 50.
Yeah, I read an article or saw a headline really that she only accepted to come back if they gave her a jacket, which I thought was quite funny.
That's hilarious. I don't know that. That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to see her talk about that and make a
Yep.
big deal about her character trait being a jacket wearer.
Yeah.
Must be cold out there though. That's something we don't really get to experience properly.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
how divisive the elements are.
Yep. Something I do really want to see. If Angelina gets voted out, I really want to see somebody ask her for her jacket on the way out.
Yes,
That would be
especially if it's
hilarious.
Christian or Mike. That would be so good.
Yeah. Who do you think's the most likely from her tribe to do that?
Oh,
I think
okay. Just gonna have to pull up the
um
picture of the tribes.
I
Let's
honestly
have
I
a
could see Rizzo or Genevieve doing that.
yeah, Rizzo doing it would be so funny. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I think Rizzo more than anyone or Q.
Q, yeah, that would just be hilarious. I couldn't
Be
see
so funny.
Colby, Stephanie, Kyle
No,
doing that. Maybe Aubrey, but
no,
yeah.
I can't see Aubrey doing it. She's too nice.
Oh, it's just too nice. It's true. Like Rizzo or Genevieve, Q, maybe all the three
Yeah,
of them.
just manifest it into the world.
Yeah. Mike White,
Mike
huge name,
White.
much bigger name than he was his first time round. And I think
He
that's
was, but
definitely going to play into 50.
yeah, he did do the
Um,
School of Rock before this, and
yeah.
that's what Nick loved.
Yeah. Well, I think Mike's game in David versus Goliath, he played an incredible game. Strong alliance, never really the target until the end.
No,
Um, and then just fumbled at Tribal Council. And I think a lot of people kind of think he should have won that season. I disagree because I think he stopped playing too soon. He stopped playing when that final Tribal Council hit. You know,
yeah,
he didn't he didn't play at the end, and that's why Nick beat him. And I think
that's the
Nick
third part
deserved
of
to
the
beat him.
game. The
Exactly,
the
yeah.
the when the jury gets flipped and or they get to start talking again, that's the third part of the game, and it happens very fast,
Yep,
but
exactly.
it is a very, very important part of the game.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see a lot of people wanting to align with Mike because they want to be in the next season of the White Lotus?
Also, who's been on the White Lotus? Angelina's been on the White
So
Lotus,
many of that cast, like half of that cast has been on it. Like I'm
right?
going through, we've had Alec, I think Natalie's had a cameo.
That's funny.
Um,
Davey,
Davey, I think, yep. Um, Alec, oh, I said Alec.
you did say Alec, yeah.
Angelina. Yeah, I honestly think a lot more of them have been on just very small roles. I think what's his name? Carl was on it as well
Oh
at
yeah,
one point. But
that's
yeah,
funny.
so many of this season, and I think yeah, that's I think that's going to be a part of why a lot of people from 50 are going to want to be friends with Mike because
I
they know
know.
that people from his last season were on it, and they're sure that people from the season will be on it too.
I have a feeling
Yeah,
that coach isn't gonna like that Mike is more popular than him.
maybe,
I feel like there's gonna
maybe,
be some tension there.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah,
I don't
you
know.
created this, hit TV show, but I am the Dragon Slayer. Least
We'll
we
see.
forget."
I think as long as Mike's honourable, then we'll see.
That's right. It's gonna be
Yeah.
honesty. But yeah,
I don't think there's much more to
that's
say
David and Goliath. No,
about Mike. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is a Goliath.
well, they're all separated in this 50, so they're
Yes,
all on
that's
separate
true.
tribes,
Yeah,
which is interesting and probably better for all of the games.
I think so. Yeah, I think two
Okay,
people from the same tribe are going to get targeted if they were on the same season. But
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
should talk about the final season in the
Yeah,
30s,
let's do it. Edge of Extinction. Who do we have
Edge of
from
Extinction.
38?
Well, we've got Aubrey coming back and playing
Yeah,
again
Aubrey for a third time and Rick Devon.
with the
Yeah,
Weatherman.
the
Now, Edge
Weatherman.
of Extinction is kind of like Redemption Island, is when you get voted off, you're really not voted off. You've got one more
Yeah,
chance to come back into the game.
yeah, but I
And
think
Devon gets,
the
yeah,
big difference though for that is Redemption Island. You've got way less of an advantage getting voted off early because you have to beat so many people. But Edge of Extinction, I think you have a much more of an advantage in that you don't have to play the game as much. You've got more time to find advantages on the edge, and we see that with Chris, and we see that with Natalie in 50. Another
yeah.
very controversial Edge of Extinction moment. First
And
boots,
40,
but
you
had
mean?
the best chance to have a second chance, I guess, because she had so much more time to a find, yeah, sorry, 40. So much more time to find advantages and things and fire tokens, and B, a lot more time to get to know the jury members,
Yeah.
which is such a
It's,
huge part of Edge of Extinction.
yeah, it's the same management that Aussie was doing in South Pacific, where he was just feeding the players and then sending them on their way. Where, yeah, in Age of Extinction, you get to like kind of be a bit out of the game. You don't
Yeah,
have to be, because nothing really matters until the final moment.
exactly. Yeah, and we see that with Chris this season.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to give credit for Devons. He plays a strong game and gets kicked out,
Yeah,
comes back in, and then just doesn't put the foot off the pedal because he says like this is my second chance, and people don't really even get them in Survivor. So I
Yeah.
have to be playing. So he finds idols when everyone's sleeping. He makes fake idols,
Yeah.
fools people, makes them look funny. He's an anchor man, so he's just very well versed in
Yeah.
speech,
Very good at playing up to the jury.
great facial expressions, a
Yeah.
lot of saying stuff without saying stuff.
Yeah. Just great TV in general.
Great
Very good
TV in general.
confessionals. Yeah.
Controversial uh, gimmick that Survivor did, Edge of Extinction.
Yeah. Didn't last very long.
Didn't last very long. Was very good in 40 to keep everyone around
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah,
on
that's why they did
television
it.
for the longest time, but I
Yeah.
don't think we'll see it again. I mean, we might
No.
see it this season. If
Oh, I hope not. I don't think we will. I think it's
I
way
hope
too
not
unpopular.
either. I hope it's just once they're out, they're gone. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows? I mean, you
So
can't
yeah,
have a season called In the Hands of the Fans and bring back one of the most unpopular twists they've ever had.
I don't know. I don't remember voting for Jimmy Fallon, but here we
That's
are.
true. Okay, well, should we talk about the individual players from this season?
Yeah. Well,
We'll
we kind
start
of
with
touched
Aubrey.
on. We've kind of already touched on Devon's. Like,
That's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we've talked about him already. He's a
yeah,
very, very loud player. He
yeah,
did
he
get
is a
voted
very
out
loud
early,
player.
but came back.
Came
Um,
back and just kept playing really hard, and then
yeah,
eventually took Chris took him to fire making challenge, and
yeah, bet him.
like that was the only player for Chris to play to
Exactly.
win
Yeah,
the game because of the people that were left
yeah,
in that final weren't really of note.
yeah. Well, that's the thing with Rick is that he was always the target. He was never not
Yeah,
the target, and I think that's probably not going to play well for him in 50 because if he can't do what he did on 38, where he just kept winning immunities when he needed to and having advantages when he needed to, then I think he's going to go sooner rather than later.
yeah, I
But
think you're
yeah.
right.
And
He's just coming
speaking,
in with such a big attitude. Yeah, speaking of,
yeah, speaking of going sooner rather than later, Aubrey in this season, we don't really need to talk much about her because she wasn't really in this season.
no,
She
she was
she
gone so
wasn't.
quickly.
Yeah, she wasn't on that disaster tribe at the start, and as soon as she did go to tribal council, she got blindsided.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Aubrey's worst performance of the three. I'm sure she'll do better
Well,
in 50, but we'll
well,
see.
it's everyone's coming back in 50, which has it like a benefit. This is another situation where one player is kind of coming back and
Yes.
captaining them,
Yeah.
and
The
of the
captains.
three of them,
Yeah.
Aubrey did the worst showing.
Yeah.
Of the
The
three of
captains
them,
all
really,
got targeted.
Kelly was the best because of like the friendship that she made with Lauren and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, she made it the furthest out of all of those returnees.
Yeah,
Aubrey was the worst, then Joe, David, Kelly.
yeah.
I mean, but yeah. Um, yeah.
Such a disadvantage coming back, playing a second time when it's only you in a group of six. It's
Yeah,
just
I
like
mean,
you're.
I guess, but we've seen it in the past where it is an advantage. We've seen it with Rob, Cope.
What could she have done differently then?
I don't think there's much she could have done differently. It was just the group of people she was with, I think. They were very onto it and they knew that she was a good player and she could have
Yeah,
got far if they didn't vote her out. But yeah,
it's probably a bit of her time. Oh, sorry, there
yeah,
was a fourth one. David. David came
yeah,
back. There were two in
yeah.
each.
Two in
Two in
each
each
starting
team.
tribe, yes.
That's right.
Hmm. Okay. Is there
Um,
anything else you want to say about this season?
Not really. The 30s were really quite. I don't know. There was some great characters, but albeit quite underwhelming.
Yeah.
Uh, Era of Survivor for us, and then we kind of go into the 40s,
Yeah.
and hopefully with this
Please.
50th season, it kind of brings a big shake up and
Let's hope so.
start to fall in love with it.
Let's hope we don't get more of the same that we've had throughout the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about the 40s next time, I guess.
Yeah. On the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Well, thank you, Claude.
thanks, Ethan.